This nightmare is just as suffocating as the last. Blinding sealed outs, you tangled in a lifeline. Forget all of that. March Vinter Dois Meal even says, Athens, Voliek many. Deep inside the Devil's Well of Limonachia Bay, Elite's technical diver Platonas triggers a catastrophic malfunction. The Isaxican, he breaches the cave. A grueling 6-day operation, digging in multiple military units, and specialized rescue squads ignites right here. The Devil's Well lurks exactly 25 kilometers southeast of Athens, right off the jagged coast of Limonachia Bay. It reigns as the single deadliest dive site across the entire Attica region. Locals strictly call it the diver's graveyard. The entrance hides under only meters of crushing black water, a claustrophobic, 3-meter-wide circular throat. Heavy metal barricade grills are welded dead across the opening. A decaying of ink lake, saltwater E10 warning sign stands right beside it. It screams one clear message: past this point, absolutely nothing is worth trading your own life. The ultimate killer inside the Devil's Well is a massive 24 set in negative pressure downdraft current. This violence anomaly exists purely because the cave maintains a real and less water level difference with the underground aquifer. The water perpetually generates a terrifying downward vacuum. The sheer kinetic force guarantees that once a full-grown diver hits the suction zone, swimming back out becomes physically impossible. This brutal downdraft erupts with zero warning or schedule, and hitting the Divise's meter depth mark, the flow violently supercharges. It violently rips any transpassing diver downward, and can bash something them straight into a pitch-black, suffocating vertical shaft. Worrying and inescapable death trap for a ride in the dark. 24-year-old Platonas. Apparatus is a veteran commercial airline pilot and an elite technical cave diver simultaneously. He possesses elite threat assessment, increases survival of hypoxia. He logs well over 1,000 hours breathing compressed gas in the dark. He holds the absolute highest tier certification in cave diving. Full closed-circuit rebreather credentials. XCTR physically scrubs your exhaled breath, packs it with fresh oxygen, and feeds it back into your lungs. It bleeds zero visible bubbles. And its life support Alistis standard open-circuit scuba by hours, built specifically for aggressive, long-range, extreme depth cave penetration. March 2026 Hyinum. Plutonus and his 27-year-old dive partner gear up and strike directly at the Devil's Well. Both men strap on massive, heavy-duty technical rigs, packing full CCRS, high-speed underwater scooters, and bailout tanks engineered to pump trace to single hours of emergency gas. They lock down their buoyancy compensators and prep underwater cameras. The strict mission brief dictates exploring only the immediate entrance zone, zero depenetration planned, yet they instantly walk straight into a lethal trap. As executing flawless technical precision, they drop smoothly down to the Onsen meter cave throat. They slide right past a rusted iron barricade. The exact microsecond they breach the cave's perimeter, total disaster valiantly strikes. The cave triggers a monstrous, localized negative pressure downdraft. It instantly grips Plutonus, who sits slightly deeper inside, sucking him directly into the dead center of the vortex. The kinetic crushing force physically reaps away all his motor control. His partner, hovering just a fraction of a second behind, still clinging to the outer rim of the opening, occupies a microzone with fractionally weaker suction. He violently kicks back, barely locking his position in the chaos. The vacuum violently slams Plutonus straight into the jagged rock wall. The impact instantly shreds his fins and crucial bailout tanks, tearing his survival gear cleanly off his body, into the void. His partner watches this absolute nightmare unfold, instantly initiating rescue protocols from the threshold. For quite Intalgan using minutes, he launches multiple physical strikes to reach him, and fires deployable lift bags straight at Plutonus. But the relentless downdraft crushes every single attempt. Simultaneously, stripped of his life support hardware, Plutonus loses absolutely all physical orientation in the blackness. The unstoppable current drags his helpless body deeper into the abyss. His partner calculates the brutal math. Diving deeper now guarantees the vacuum will slaughter them both. He violently ditches his underwater scooter and bailout gas on a ledge, riding the razor edge of his remaining primary gas, and aborts straight to the surface. He instantly triggers a massive distress call to the Hellenic Coast Guard. The moment the alarm sounds, Hellenic Coast Guard and Navy Underwater Demolition Command squads fuse with local elite divers to launch a strike force. Rescue operators battle extreme currents, zero visibility, and shattered rock tunnels between March 23 and 24, They recover Platonus's shredded diving gear, but find zero trace of the man makes gear, but find zero trace of the man himself. The massive operation hits a brutal brick wall. Margin being sinkled. Local heavy deft specialists punch aggressively deeper into the system. At the exact peak of a vertical drop, they finally locate Plutonus's lifeless body. His inflated buoyancy wing violently wedged his corpse inside a rock fracture. The crushing depths and lethal layout make immediate extraction an absolute death wish. The recovery crew anchors the body to the rock, aborting to the surface to engineer a highly technical extraction. On March Vichueto, led by the elite Antunes, Graf's Harkavary units, multiple squads synchronize a grueling 4-hour underwater operation, finally ripping his remains free from the cave's grip. You never underestimate the crushing violence of the ocean. Fearing the deep is never cowardice, it is the absolute most basic requirement for staying alive. May the brutal end of Platonus serve as a final warning. Image and days, there are tones of water crashing your chest, and remember, some pitch-black boundaries are physically designed to kill you. You never gamble your air supply against an inescapable void. You never gamble your air supply against an inescapable void. You only get one life, and it bleeds out instantly the second you IDs.